Nice work this morning, big guy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I'll come up and get it. Both of us.
Yeah, and he's strong too. Kyrie's strong. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have the wonderful, I call him Charlie. He's my friend now. Charles D. What's your last name?
Froman.
Froman. Okay, I didn't want to mess it up. So how you doing today?
Like Afro Man.
Afro Man. He's actually a friend of a friend. Afro Man. Did you see the case that he had?
I saw him somewhere on X, but I don't know the details.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, Charles, let's get into it. I know you're a busy man, and I appreciate you coming to the conference and getting me here at the conference. So, would you mind telling us a little bit about what we do?
Sure.
About what you do.
Well, thank you, Julian. I'm glad you're here. Of course, you're here with Nikki Florio,
Yes.
the geoengineering expert.
Expert.
Yeah. And I'm excited that we're going to have her here because we need to have a geoengineering discussion if you're going to have a health freedom talk.
Right.
And the health freedom world really is only about vaccines.
Okay.
And informed consent. You know, we increasingly mothers want the choice of whether to vaccinate their babies.
Right.
And that's what the fight has been about, mainly in the state capitals for years.
Okay.
As pharma has attached the exemptions that we have access to if we want to keep our kids out of the pediatrician's office getting all those toxic shots.
Right.
But there are other issues in health freedom, and people are looking up in the sky and going, that's not natural.
Right.
And the experts argue about what is it? Is it just bad pollution in the exhaust from the jets that have more routes because there's more people flying,
Yeah.
as some experts argue? Or is there a nefarious element because they're really doing some pretty incredible tic-tac-toe lines?
Right. So I'll ask you this, Charles. Do you feel like they're actually experts if they're just saying that that's exhaust coming out of those planes?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Because the guy I'm talking about is Jim Lee.
Okay.
And he runs Climate Viewer, and that is his thesis. And there is some truth to what he's saying. But I like on this issue.
Excuse me, Charles. So his thesis is that's exhaust coming out of the planes?
Bad exhaust that stays up there and is dumping the usual metals that we all know about, the aluminum.
Okay. Chemtrails.
Yeah, the chemtrails.
Okay.
But so that's the argument: is how much of it is just bad exhaust from more planes, and then how much of it is secretive, evil. Spraying to kill us,
Okay.
Or dim the sun. You know, I guess the official explanation is to dim the sun to stem climate change.
Okay. Now, one thing about I want to ask you something. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I want to ask questions for all my listeners.
Sure.
Because we have like this huge common sense thing, all my listeners.
Yeah.
You know, so we can get Wi-Fi in the desert, but we can't get the damn exhaust out of the sky. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I mean,
Okay.
you know, there is funding at the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) to clean up the exhaust,
Okay.
and that defunding was de-emphasized in something called the Federal Weather Enterprise Report that Nikki can talk about.
Okay.
And she will talk about later this afternoon. So, if it is bad exhaust, why aren't they regulating it better?
Right.
But you know, I think it's more than just bad exhaust.
Exactly.
You know, Biden had a lot of funding through a lot of different agencies during his term to fund, you know, weather modification experiments, and they do want to dim the sun and use geoengineering and stratospheric pollution to stem climate change. So they definitely believe in climate change.
Okay.
So if they couch it in those terms, where we're just protecting you from climate change by spraying a bunch of stuff up there, people will believe them. So there's not that much opposition to geoengineering. And you know, one of National Health Federation's goals, we are the world's oldest health freedom organization, and I'm their lobbyist.
Okay.
I just want the education to start. Let the arguments happen. Let's figure out what's going on, and then let's put limits on it. Because whatever it is, we don't like it.
Right. Right.
So same with vaccines. We can argue what is in the Frankenshot that they gave half the population over the past few years. But the most important thing is, do we all have a right to ignore it and just refuse it.
Sure.
If you want to get that toxic shot, go right ahead.
Yeah.
I just want the right to ignore you.
Right. Right.
I want the right to stop that pollution, whatever it is. I want the right to keep the cell tower away from my apartment building. I want the right to opt out of the smart meter. You know, the utility companies have that smart meter outside every apartment building in every city of the country. That stuff emits radio frequency and microwave radiation, which causes cancer.
So the cell towers do that also?
Yes, yes. They'll tell you it doesn't, but they'll also tell you that vaccines are harmless.
Right.
And they'll tell you that geoengineering is just bad exhaust. So I think we know that the powers that be don't always tell the truth, because to do that would lose them power and money.
Yeah.
And you know, there is a nefarious evil aspect to all this stuff. Let's be honest. You know, it's not just
Hey, I'm getting excited. NuEra Radio. I got Charles right here for real, for real.
Yeah.